2 of the NHL All-Star event in Hockey Ultimate Team has been released, and in this video, we're going to cover everything from the sets, the new Master Set players, the cost, and my overall thoughts on the event as a whole. Let's get into it. So let's start first with the new 92 overall Chris Chelios, a right-handed defenseman, 6', 191. He's got two-way and defensive defense, as well as accelerator and defensive boost, which essentially maxes out all of his defensive attributes. He's got 92 speed and excel, 92 agility with synergies activated, and gold shutdown, which is, in my opinion, one of the best defensive abilities in the game. Quick pick has proven to be valuable, as has Heat Seeker. All in all, not a bad card at all. This is a far better option than the power-up icon headliner Chris Chelios. Kind of hammers home the fact that they drilled his skating into the ground, because even at 92 overall, still got 89 speed and excel, can get accelerator boost to help out his acceleration. However, his tier 8 does get silver truculence. All of his other abilities are pretty useless on this card. Born Leader can be effective, but silver truculence is definitely by far the best option here. I'm just not a huge fan of the Master Set players being power-up icons, simply because most of the Master Set players, now that the meta and what everyone kind of wants in a good card has kind of been figured out. At the launch of the game, there's really no idea. Like, for example, endurance turned out to be one of the most important stats in the game. We didn't know that at the beginning of the game. Next up, one of my favorite players from my childhood, the 92 Curtis Joseph, 5'11", 190. He's got accelerator and speed boost, as well as agile dangler and checking boost to help out with synergies, gold light work, energizer, post-to-post, and showstopper. He's got 98 speed, which is great, the most important attribute for goaltenders. Aggression at 66 is fine. However, if you are someone that plays this game online, there is no way to put Curtis Joseph in net and not be at a significant disadvantage. Now, this isn't on the content team. This is something that EA drastically needs to figure out. I'm not sure how, to be honest with you. I remember a suggestion earlier on in the year where goaltenders under 6 foot, for example, just get all of their abilities active at all times, which I kind of find interesting, but I still don't think that would help, because once shooting attributes get into the high 90s, anyone that's 5'11", like low far side, it's just angles. There's just less of you to hit. I wish they'd figure out a way, because when they release goaltenders that are under 6 foot as Master Set items, they're literally just a waste with nice card art. Also, if you are someone that just plays squad battles, please let me know. I would love to hear from the offline crowd as well, because I don't like just giving my advice or taking feedback and things from players that play at the higher end. If you play squad battles regularly and you use a goaltender under 6 foot, does it matter? Like, do you find it more difficult? Next is the 92 Mark Recchi, 5'10", 195, with playmaking and sniper forward, as well as playmaking and shooting boost, gold close quarters, silver magnetic, unstoppable force, and tape to tape. I gotta be honest with you, I don't have any idea how to sell you this card. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know how this card hits 92 overall, because every important attribute that you're looking for in Hockey Ultimate Team is low. His abilities are, I mean, unstoppable force is fine, but you've really got to be a big Mark Recchi fan to have any interest in this. And I'll be honest with you, if you are a big Mark Recchi fan, you're probably better off just going with the power-up icon, because his skating is negligible. His endurance is brutal, but it is what it is. He does have gold Born Leader, and at least if you are a big Mark Recchi fan, this card will keep going up every month, including, well, it should, another +1 on February 1st. Wouldn't be an all-star event without Owen Nolan. I get a lot of comments because I'm a Sharks fan, and everyone assumes that, you know, Owen Nolan's one of my favorite players. I became a Sharks fan the year that he was traded. Ironically enough, I grew up a Leafs fan, but when I started taking an interest in the Sharks, Owen Nolan was already gone. Nonetheless, as far as Owen Nolan cards go, this one's actually half decent. Usually they are brutal. He's got gold unstoppable force, Born Leader, close quarters, and off the rush. Got 92 speed, 92 acceleration, which is in line with the rest of this event. Essentially a 99 shot across the boards, good hand stat, and a good body checking rating at 90 as well. All in all, not a bad right-handed winger card. I want to take a second and just talk about content from this event, because I think, again, my personal opinion, this is one of the weakest events that we've gotten, in one of the most unique events that happen every year. Outside of Team of the Year, Fantasy, and Team of the Season, there aren't many events that stand out and separate from themselves, because they just pump out an event every 2 weeks. The All-Star event is one of my favorites, and normally it is because of how the skills competition works, and players can get up to 99 stats for certain skills events, and they took that away. This year, they no longer go up to 99, they're just giving them silver abilities for an event win, which I think is a very safe way to do it, because 12 players will be able to play in multiple events. If I was asked, it should have just been, if they win an event, goes to 99, and if they win multiple events, so be it. It would have made the event far more exciting as a HUT player and just a viewer as well. On top of of that, I think that when you do an event, 3 things need to be checked. Number 1, does it make sense? And in this case, it does. They clearly are going back to the 2000 All-Star event from Toronto because this year it is in Toronto, and I totally understand that. Number 2, the players have to be exciting. And there are a few players that outside of the fan bases of those players, you would deem exciting. Teemu Selanne, for example, and even Curtis Joseph, but again, the problem is you can't use him in game. But the other issue is that there's so many power-up icons because they went with the 2000s All-Star game that when they have a power-up icon, it just kind of cheapens that master set player because the power-up icon gets a big boost and it will keep going up for the rest of the year. Could they have made better selections? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think that instead of going with a prior year of the All-Star event, they should have went with just big name All-Stars. How they didn't go with Danny Heatley in this event is wild to me. He's literally the All-Star, but again, that's my own personal gripe. And then third, the cards have to be good. They have to be exciting to use in-game. Like I said, guys, I don't know how to explain to anyone in which situation this card would be effective in-game. And that isn't the only aspect of the game that's important. It's just one of them, but I don't know how this would be worth anywhere near the cost that it's going to cost to make it. On top of that, they decided to release team builders on the same weekend of it, which all but effectively ends any sort of hype around the event because the team builder cards are always going to be better than whatever event comes out. They've never done that during an event. They always come out on like a Tuesday, which financially would make more sense because you would think that during an event, okay, you're going to get people to rip packs and spend money, that on Tuesday when no one really does that, they always release team builders. It just would have made more sense. So very confusing, much like this entire year when it comes to content. Again, I don't like just giving complaints without feedback that can help assist and make it better. Like I said, when I think of an event, I think as long as you fit those 3 pillars of does it make sense to the event, is the card and player choice exciting to not just the fan base of that player, and are they effective in game? That is how you get a very, very good event. So with that being said, we did get a second week of the All-Star objective pack, which will give us 15 power-up collectibles. However, it costs 21 to get a Master Set player. So obviously pretty frustrating that you can't get a free Master Set player from this event. You will get 14 power-up collectibles back if you refund them all, so you will lose 7 in total, which is not cheap. But just again, I hate that they don't allow free-to-play players to earn a Master Set player every single event. Now, you can earn 2 more power-up collectibles in the moments, as there was a new moment added, along with week 1s. That will get you 2 more power-up collectibles in total, so you can get up to 17, but still, there's 4 more remaining. I really don't like giving out market advice because it does impact the market and the price, but I want to give out information to players that they should be aware of, so I apologize, but 87 overall cards in general, guys, are going for around 40,000 coins, like All-Star or not, all right? Understand that these All-Star cards can go up in overall rating based on their performance in game. So if Tom Wilson scores a few goals in the All-Star games and he gets up to an 89 overall, you've just got an 89 overall card for 40,000 coins. I just want people to be aware of that because all these All-Star cards, while they're not exciting to use because they've really hammered the value of how these events work, which is a massive frustration for me, just because, again, this is one of my favorite events. There's no reason to not take a shot on an All-Star card that's going for the same price as 87 overall cards in general. Again, because they could go up in overall rating. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for week 2 of the All-Star event. Let me know what you think in the comments sections down below. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on week 2, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.